welcome. My name is Supriya and we're back with another episode of the E-Commerce Flight, which is a podcast about small businesses and the role they play in the world. Brought to you in association with Amazon. Now, the last time we spoke to a couple of women entrepreneurs and we followed their journey, which were very inspiring for sure. And it only makes sense that with International Women's Day around the corner, we actually get to know more such stories. Now, before I introduce our guest today, I would like to set the tone for this episode. Did you know that an estimated 1 out of 5, that is 20% of Indian women, suffer from PCOS, which, if not monitored in time, can have severe health impacts, which, of course, in younger women can be about suffering irregular periods, obesity, or even experience hirsutism, which is unwanted male pattern hair growth. In older age groups, it can actually lead to infertility. It can also lead to miscarriages and many more health complications, of course. Additionally, women with PCOS actually are at high risk of diabetes, high blood pressure, and many more such health complications. So what do? Do you just survive through it or learn to thrive through it? Meet Richa Goel, and I'm so happy and proud to actually introduce her on this podcast. A little about her: she was 22 when she got diagnosed with PCOS. It was later in life, while she was at a high-paying job, it got really severe. That is when she had to leave her job and she focused on her health. And while focusing on her health, an idea popped. And the idea was BCOS Foods. Welcome, Richa, to the e-commerce flight. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Supriya. I'm so excited to be here and have a conversation with you.
Okay, so you're a certified nutritionist and, of course, the founder of BCOS Foods. How did an engineer arrive at a business built around food for hormones?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, Supriya, that I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was just 22.
Mm-hmm.
And tab se lekar ab tak ki journey, it's been really frustrating for me. I realized that there's a lot of awareness missing still out there where no one talks about menstruation. And menstruation to bhul jao, to PCOS ki koi bhi baat nahi karta hai. So PCOS was a very lonely journey for me. I had no one to talk to, even gynecologists, they didn't give me any particular answer on how to manage my PCOS. So I was working in a high-paying job. I was working in Qualcomm, developing chipsets. So I am actually an embedded engineer who loved coding in her silo. And I was working, all was going fine. My PCOS started getting worse every year. And my blood report showed me that I was on the verge of getting diabetes. And then I quit my job. My husband pushed me to take a break. I was on a break, on a good 2-3 months break. And I started focusing on my lifestyle, my eating habits. And then I realized that that made a visible change in my PCOS journey. I could see changes in my body, positive changes. And I started delving more into PCOS management. I did research, a lot of research. And then I figured out that nutrition was the key to manage PCOS. It was more than to work out, the exercise that you do. And then I decided to do a course on nutrition. And I became a nutritionist. And because I want to understand how exactly nutrition help us and all the nitty-gritties surrounding nutrition. I became a nutritionist, and then I did see a lot of gap in the market with respect to staples for women, especially. I was told to have millet roti every day in my diet because millets are low in glycemic index. But it was very difficult for me to meet and eat them on a day-to-day basis. It wasn't sustainable. Then I started mixing grains in my household just for experimenting, and I realized that this is a gap that I need to fill. And so that's how BCOS was born, and we focus completely on staples. Yes, and I could see a lot of physical changes, not just physically but mentally as well. Like I could feel a lot of energy and my brain fog was reducing. So a lot of good mental changes, positive mental changes I used to see.
One thing I'm actually realizing from this conversation is that while We speak of a lot of physical challenges in PCOS. Not a lot of discussion happens on the mental challenges it might bring up, जैसे कि आपने बताया. So tell us something about the low phase that you kind of went through, and I believe there was a lot of self-reflection as well. So let's talk about that.
Yes, there was a lot of self-reflection in my journey. So when I was when I was just 22, I had no one, and I was just given OCPs, oral contraceptive pills, to manage my PCOS. So PCOS में क्या होता है ना, you get a lot of symptoms, including irregular periods.
Right.
So whenever I used to go to a gynecologist, she would just give me OCPs, and I would get my period. But then when I would stop, it would again, I would be the same. Yes, and this was repeating, and I had no one. So I remember when I was in hostel, I used to just pop up these pills, सबसे छुपा के, कोई देख ना ले मुझको ये pills खाते हुए. I still feel there are a lot of awareness missing still. Yeah. Like this was 10 years back when I was 22, and still we are in the same place. तो बहुत reflection किया कि actually PCOS impacted me a lot in my productivity also while I was working, because it tends to give a lot of brain fog. आपको anxiety बहुत देता है PCOS, and it was all impacting my productivity. And when we saw the blood reports, I went into bad shape, realizing that I was just about to, on the verge of diabetes. And I just made a promise to myself that I won't be popping pills for diabetes. And that's how I took a break and I started working on. I made a promise to myself that this is not the way I'm going to live my entire life. Just being on medicines, and I need to do something. So while I was just figuring out how do I manage my condition and be better, in a better position, it was a lot of hard work, a lot of push, a lot of hard work. Yes.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. But it's nice to know कि कैसे you pulled yourself up and created something, not just for yourself, but for every woman out there who's going through PCOS, that is BCOS Foods. Before I go on to the next question, I think you should share with our viewers and listeners, why did you name it BCOS Foods?
The answer is simple, Supriya. So, because I want to tell everyone out there that because you matter, especially women, you matter. हम लोग क्या है ना, हमारा माइंड में ही बिठा रखा है बचपन से कि you need to focus on your family. फिर कल को बच्चे हो जाएंगे तो बच्चों को संभालो. We don't focus on ourselves. True. This is a message that I am giving to all the women out there. You matter. Wow. And do prioritize yourself in terms of nutrition, your wellness, your mental, anything, everything.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's such a good thought to put out there. Lovely. So I have to ask, in the many ups and downs of things, how did Amazon come into the picture once you had already given birth to BCOS Foods?
So I'm a solo founder, and being a solo founder, sometimes it gets really overwhelming with thousands of tasks at hand.
Sure.
And we sell our products online. So selling products online and not being on Amazon, that doesn't go together at all. And so I just dropped a message on the WhatsApp group asking for a help for an agency or a freelancer to help me list on Amazon. Since Amazon, was a complete new platform for me. And when I dropped the message, someone just helped me sharing that there's something called Amazon Saheli who would help me with everything, literally everything, and that too free of cost. I don't have to pay anything. Because before this, when I was talking to a lot of agencies, they would tell me कि आपके तो बस 5 products हैं, but we'll charge 1 lakh rupees. And I just started, and it was too much for me.
Surely.
And then this Amazon Saheli came into picture, where everything was free and a lot of help. So we have a dedicated manager where we would just call him, and whenever I'm stuck, I'll just simply call him and he'll help me out. And in fact, Amazon Saheli was the one who helped me, pushed me, break my inhibitions to launch our products on Amazon. Because Amazon is a brand that is global. And I was little apprehensive whether I'm ready for the global launch. But the team pushed me, and they were truly a Saheli for me. They pushed me कि नहीं, we'll do it. आप कर लोगे, हम करते हैं, launch तो करते हैं. And so once I got listed, then comes cataloging,
Okay.
A plus content, anything that is related to Amazon. So with respect to cataloging, Amazon Saheli team helped me with the best providers, and that too again free of cost. So that was truly a blessing for me. And today, my store on Amazon looks good because of the team, the support that I was being given at the right time. So Amazon Saheli helped me tremendously. I have no words to actually share, but blessing in disguise.
So this International Women's Day, Amazon is running its third edition of the campaign that is hashtag She is Amazon, which highlights, women in Amazon's ecosystem. So I'm going to draw from your experience, of course, with the company, with Amazon. But do you think Amazon is fostering inclusivity for women, and at the same time, क्या particular elements हैं जो कि influence करते हैं आपके assessment को for the same?
The answer is कि I'm sitting here today is all because of how Amazon is working towards inclusivity. Answer आप सबके पास है. आज when I'm speaking, I do feel कि I am given an opportunity where I can talk about my journey and share everything. मतलब ये message सबको जाएगा, right? So definitely Amazon is working. So Amazon सहेली जो program है, it's truly a सहेली for me. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरे साथ हमेशा कोई है जहाँ पे when I'll get stuck, I'll just get my answers from my best friend, that is Amazon Saheli. So Amazon is doing a tremendous work here, and being a solo founder, at times it gets really overwhelming with 100 of tasks at hand. But if we have someone where we also trust, and trust is mutual, the journey becomes easier. And with Saheli program, the journey is a lot easier for me. And they are helping me in every step where, because Amazon is a huge platform, there's still a lot of things to explore, and the Saheli program is helping me each single day, working towards my mission. Yeah, and it's helping me create a visibility for my brand where pan India people are now ordering our products. They're liking our products, and yeah, I'm loving the journey with Amazon Saheli.
I'm glad. Because sometimes, having your own, business, your own thing going can be very overwhelming as well.
Yes,
and that support is something I'm sure that is
Yes,
really,
yes.
Doesn't make things very overwhelming.
Because being a solo founder, you have to handle everything from sales to marketing to your creatives, everything. And you don't have a big team right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely.
Lovely. Great to know that. So, lastly, Richa, this podcast is called the e-commerce flight, and it is, after all, about small businesses. And experts say that SMEs are the backbone of our economy. Now, from your vantage point, how do you see this? And more importantly, what do you think you can or are contributing to the Indian economy with BCOS Foods?
So we are also a SME, and I feel that when you are small, if you take help from small businesses, they help you a lot because they adjust and listen to your needs more than the big players in the market. So I am still focusing and taking help from SMEs only. Since we are based on staples, grains, agriculture, we take a lot of help from small farmers. And in terms of the Indian economy, how we are helping, I see is that I'm not just building a platform where we'll just sell our goods online. We are also on a mission to build a community where women can come and talk freely about their problems related to anything related to menstruation or any problem. So I'm also on a mission of building awareness and giving a platform to women, telling them that it's not your fault if you have PCOS. It's absolutely normal and natural. But just come out and talk to us, and we are helping them in every possible way we can. That's a platform that we are building.
That's a lovely vision to actually have with BCOS Foods going forward. Richa, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your inspiring journey here with everybody. Of course, you're kind of setting an example. I hope you know that, because somewhere you're saying that your vulnerabilities can turn into your strength, which I believe is the biggest takeaway from our conversation today. Thank you so much once again for being on our podcast.
Thank you so much, Supriya. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode, and I hope you keep enjoying the new episodes to come. Keep sharing your suggestions, your feedback with us on our social media handles. That's @HT Smartcast. See you in the next episode.